Alright, we're on my server because I wanted to demonstrate some movement tech. There's a decent amount of it, and it's worth to know for playing in almost any game mode in this game. So, to start with, the basic concept is whenever you press a key, you're going to accelerate up to a specific value while you're on the ground. That said, even when you're doing diagonals, it's going to attempt, but you'll notice that it exceeds and then it gets capped or clamped. So we're kind of going to be taking advantage of the fact that the clamping only really occurs when you touch the ground. And specifically when you're touching the ground while pressing forward. So most of the mechanics take advantage of that, and then it uses the different accelerations that occur and keep using them. So even doing something as simple as a b-hop like I was just doing, I can start getting up to essentially the running speed without much effort. So let's do the easiest ones to do first. So for starters, if we press forward and then left and right, we exceed in value, but we're changing direction for where we want to go. But if you keep pressing back and forth, you can get a slight speed boost. So let's say about 400 units when you normally cap to 320. So that's good if you're trying to like chase someone down and they're running away, and you're just going through narrow hallways and you're trying to hit them with a crowbar. So definitely good to know. The next thing to cover is wall running. So you've potentially seen people surf. This is very similar to that concept. So you end up getting speed boost essentially by having your acceleration points being doubled. I'm not entirely sure how or why this works, but if you get the angle right, kind of practice here, see if I can get it. So I'm going over 280 when I should be going 190. So if I combine that with running, I think I can get, yeah, like 480-ish. Yeah. But you can also do that with different directions that are more useful than staring at a wall. So this can be potentially useful in maps where maybe there's a little sniper nest and it's just a hallway and people are potentially shooting into the hallway. You can lean up against the back wall and get kind of a speed boost going back and forth. Could also be useful if you're kind of in an area that's a bit open, if it has a wall. You can essentially run alongside the wall and get that speed boost. So the other thing is, when part of the point of this map is jumping over gaps. So this gap that I'm jumping over right now, you can just get over with a, I think you can actually do it with a regular jump. Let's see if I can get one in here. I think you have to get it like just right to get it with a regular jump. I don't know. Let's see if I can get it with this. Pretty sure you have to crouch. No, I guess you can get it, but you have to do it with a slight strafe jump. Anyway, typically you're going to jump across this jump with a crouch jump. So for the next tier, your crouch jump isn't going to make it. So half the time when I see people on this map, they get stuck right here because they're like, what? They understand that there's different tech you can use. So let's see if we can use our running tech to our little wiggle tech. across. So our wiggle tech actually is enough to get across this gap. So let's see how far we can go with our most basic tech, and then take it to the next level. Oh, I've never really used this for jumping. This is very awkward. Let's go at a slight angle, and then plan. That's not really working, is it? Okay, so obviously that's not really meant to be used for jumping, but it can give you a slight boost. We can use the wall tech here, though. So, la-di-da. Alright, I'm pretty sure the wall tech can go pretty far here, but we probably shouldn't use it for too much more of these. Because, yeah. Let's actually see how far we can go. If I just keep this angle somewhat consistent. Alright, I think I'm hitting the point where it's getting a little difficult. Alright, so perfect spot to learn the next thing, which is strafe jumping, and probably the most important and the most used. So, looking at these squares, let's pretend I'm trying to go from here to here in a nice curve. But doing so, I want to be holding two directional keys. So this is essentially bicording, is the term used in Descent. That's how old this tech is. They have bicording and tricording since they can move in 6 degrees. But we can only move in 2. But we can still get a boost, because essentially we're adding the acceleration to 2 directions as opposed to just 1. So we just have to make sure we don't hit that cap. So what we do is we want that boost, and we turn the mouse as well. So you can see that I'm getting a boost. Even though I'm still on the ground, I'm going to like 250-ish. If I turn it slower, turn it faster, I can, but if I turn it too fast, I'm not quite getting where I want. I guess I'm getting like maybe 250. I think if you turn it really fast, you might be able to, yeah. Anyway, so the point is you're getting that rotational boost, and you think, wait, you're getting much more than that when you were running or whatever. Well, this one, yeah, I'm getting like, I guess I'm getting slightly better on a good turn than the wiggle. But you combine that with the mouse movement in the well-timed jump and with running, so you're not just doing this while not doing anything. You can hit the kind of speeds that you're getting on the wall and higher fairly easily and consistently, as opposed to having that angle issue. Takes practice. You can even do it backwards. Backwards, of course, you can't time quite as well, and of course I don't have as much practice backwards, but it's a good way of demonstrating, you know, practice makes perfect. So most people end up getting used to doing it from one direction. So I'm using left at the moment, but I can still try to do it from the other way. But yeah, my typical one is doing it the left. so let's keep pushing forward. Hopefully I'll start getting more consistent.
This way, gang.
So we're almost seeing the value I want to see, which is 480.
The freeman has done well.
So sometimes doing those quick circles doesn't always work. See, that one's on like 420. So what I've seen some people do, and by some people I mean Paradiser, they actually set up a thing where it was a script or an input where it would change the sensitivity of their mouse to something absolutely insane. So they're spinning like a spin bot, and they combine that with the keyboard input, and they didn't care which direction they're going. They were like in the middle of the map on a kill box, and then they hit jump, and they were just launched out of that spin. So essentially, you can potentially get more out of a larger turn, but I don't know. It's one of those things where the practice of where to launch isn't really there. So I'm doing terrible if I try to break my muscle memory here. Actually doing quite terribly now. There we go, 472. Back to 450. Down to 430. Alright, let's make sure I at least beat this jump. I struggle with this one fairly often. Most people struggle around the 360 part, even when they're practiced. I would say even the people that get past this jump, like I just did, 364 is about the limit for most people that are pro players, I would say, at least from my experience seeing people play. At this level, people usually use the exploit of bouncing through these to get the speed they need. But you can start hearing people do that. I'm not good at doing the bounce thing.